guys, let's talk about an exercise today that is very commonly used in yoga, Pilates, physio rehab especially, but it's not really done very well. It's not taught very well, and it doesn't get translated to the population well enough. So I think a lot of people do this exercise and be like, oh yeah, I can do it, it's super easy, but then they don't really get the full effect of the exercise because it's a very powerful exercise. It works on lumbar stability, like core stability, hip centration, and shoulder stability, like the whole lot. It's so good, but it's also an exercise that people can cheat really easily. So you're not actually giving your body what it needs from this exercise. So we're gonna talk through this exercise, and hopefully you can get something out of this video to try to correct yourself when you do this, to make sure you're having a better effect from this exercise. So this is called Bird Dog or Superman. It's called differently by different people, but basically you are in a 4-point position. Okay, so your hands should be underneath your shoulders, your knees should be underneath your hips. Okay, setup's really important. I find a lot of people don't position themselves correctly, so their legs are too far back or their hands are too far forward. So you want it to be in the right position. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath your hip. Okay, back straight, long neck, chin tuck, and you want to make sure your chest does not drop. Okay, a lot of people tend to drop when they're doing this exercise, but you want to think about you're pushing away from the floor. You're pushing away from gravity. Strong chest, tuck the chin, long neck. Okay, so a bird dog is literally that. Okay, but I often break this exercise down because when people do that, you see a lot of people doing this, or they do this, which is not really accurate. It's not about how straight you can get the legs, or like how high you can get the legs. It's about how much can you achieve while maintaining stability through your 2 points, and not dropping through the head and neck as well. Okay, so I tend to teach this from the hands first because it's easier. So when you're in this position, you should have 4 points of stability. Okay, both hands, both knees. Okay, you want to think about your tightening through your center, so we can hold stable through your lower back. So let's start off by just straightening the left arm. Okay, so you want to take a breath in, and when you breathe out, you're just going to focus on your 3 points of stability. So you should be able to stabilize in 3 points and take one hand off, and all you're going to do is straighten that. Okay, what we don't want to see is a big lean towards the opposite side, because a lot of people want to lean off that opposite hip. So you want to be able to hold that, for me, my right side center. So I'm still in that line where my hands underneath my shoulders, my knees underneath my hip, and I'm not tilting over while I straighten the left arm. Breathe in, bring it back. Same thing with the other side. Lift that off. See how I'm still completely within my parameters. A lot of people will do that. So that's what we often see. So don't really want that, or people will like to sink through the chest. So you want to think about neck long, chest stable. Keep all your stability points still as you straighten away. Breathe out as you straighten. Breathe in as you come back. Okay. This is really easy. For you, we can start off with the legs. Okay. So same thing. We're going to take a breath in as we breathe out. You want to focus on your 2 points of hands and one leg, and you're just going to straighten and lift off. Okay. See how my pelvis is still completely still? So a lot of people tend to do that. They go too high, so you're actually dipping through the other side. So we want to be able to centurate in this pelvis to hold this femur, the ball of the femur, in the socket, while we are actively trying to activate our back stabilizers on right side. Okay, so you don't want to hitch to the opposite side or drop. through this side, and then you're going to breathe in as you slowly come back. Now when we draw the leg back, a lot of people tend to do something funny I call hitching the hip, so I'm going to show you on this side. So when they straighten, oh good, but when they come back they do this thing where they kind of just hitch to come back. Okay, so you don't have to hitch to come back. What you just need to do is when you straighten it up, when you come back, just let it come back. Slide back. Okay, so you can make sure you still have that stability and you're not dropping towards the other side. So straighten, then when you come back, breathe as you pull it back. So when you're actually doing it properly, it's quite a hard exercise. A lot of things to think about. Okay. So now you want to achieve opposite on opposite leg. Nice straight line, nothing hitching, nothing dropping. And when you come back, breathe out. Draw it back nice and stable. Back to where you start. Okay, a really powerful exercise. Think about what we talked about, the parameters, and give it a try.